Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toku Portal Podcast. It's time to polish up your stones because this is for Mashin Sentai Kiramager. I am Bashi V, and joining me today is.
Rye,
Pixie Cat.
welcome to Kiramager episode 33. It has been a long time since I've been on a podcast with three people.
It's kind of
Yes,
glorious,
that's
isn't
been
it?
a wave.
This is a good feeling. Because, yeah, I like talking to Vash and all, but all the podcasts just delve into us saying the same things over and over again.
Which is true.
It's like when I
Like, there's
was.
slight, there's slight variations when they do key particular things, but yeah, there's pretty much. The show's awesome.
It's like when
Oh,
I
it's nice to
was.
know I've been missed.
It's like when I was just doing podcasts with a decade for a while, and it's like it got really repetitive after a while.
I can agree. I can attest to that. To doing solo ones with you and Zero.
All right. So, uh, picking up where we last left off, shit's fucked.
Yeah, that's a decent descriptor.
Where were we? Ah, we were in the pit of despair.
So, uh, Sayo is captured by the enemy. There's a giant alien sea that's going to wreck Earth's climate. Um, oh yeah, and there's three giant monsters attacking all at once. And when the team tries calling in King Oladin for help, he's a little preoccupied with Garuza. In fact, he's gonna borrow Jiru real quick.
No, that's a thing you can do.
Just teleports Jiru inside of him into Altamalt. Or rather, Jiru's
Yeah.
consciousness. Because his body was just there with everyone grouped around him going like, Jiru, what's wrong?
So in one particular aspect, I'm glad that that's something that happened. Because to be fair, the king's always been able to do this, but it's required Jiro to be asleep because that's how they were communicating before while he was,
Right. Jiru's
stuck
consciousness
during
needed to be
subconscious.
somewhere else.
right. It's just this has, now that the king's at his full strength in his own, body per se.
His own fantasy land.
His power is increased, so he doesn't need him to be asleep anymore. And yes, Drago, we have really been enjoying Kiramager. This show has been fantastic.
He's listening.
He's
Yes.
He commented on our YouTube.
Yeah, this show's great.
He said, I can just feel you guys have been really enjoying Kiramager just from the total joy when you talk about it. Yes, this show is just it's an absolute delight.
Okay. Gonna get it off my chest.
You can't get better than sparkling.
When I saw Decade shared the Dropbox link, I got happy. I was like, yay! And then I clicked and saw it was the Saber episode, and I went, oh.
Yeah. I still
We
have
all
2 weeks
did.
for that to watch.
And I will admit, as excited as I was for Saber in the beginning, it's really just let me down. And every time I see we have an episode, I'm like,
It's not that Saber's
sure if
let
I'm
me
gonna watch
down,
it.
it's just that I'm losing motivation with everything that's going on.
Because in certain aspects, things are moving really, really fast, but at the same time, they're not moving at all. It's a weird
fact.
cross, and it's not doing the show any justice.
Like, I'm really hoping that once this arc concludes in a couple episodes, the show will pick up. Yeah.
I really hope so too.
So, Kiramager. The king summons Jiru's consciousness to show him what's going on. Like, Garza is trying to wear me down with his jaw mental. So Juru gets sent back and realizes, okay, so we can't call on the king for help right now, so we need a different plan.
And like this is an aspect of this episode that is something I really enjoy. The shit's gone hinky, so we need to strategize, and they actually show the strategizing rather than the way that it has been for a good portion of the show, which is not bad, but it's the Juro just comes up with the plan to finish it, or any variation of the members that end up doing it. This seems more methodical and thought out, which is what was required for this situation, and it's something that I really enjoy when they do.
So here's the plan. Sayo is inside the building captured by the enemy. The building is being guarded by the three Jamenju. So Takamichi, Sina, and Shigeru will go into the mechs to distract the monsters, while Juru and Tametono enter the building on foot. The mech fights go poorly for them due to the way the monsters work together and cooperate on their attacks, which was all part of Garuza's plan. He picked out the perfect opponents to counter the Kiramagers.
And boy, what a glorious mech fight / ground fight it was. Like, because I've commented on this in the past, where I enjoy seeing the dual fights and just being able to see both of them going on at the same time.
It's great.
It's even better when you see the mech fight actually be influential in the ground fight. With it being more than just, ooh, look at what's going on in the background. It's like it is directly interfering with the ground fight, and I love it.
You get that sense that, ooh, they could be killed. They might die.
Right, because it ups that danger factor.
Like, that sword was feet away from taking out Tametono when it fell.
And then when Takamichi. Yeah, I was trying to think Mr. Wonder was fighting his monster and he shot him. The shot ricocheted off and blew up right in front of both of Juru.
He
punched the monster
and threw them back, and he's like, sorry.
Like a Gaim Rider, Mr. Wonder.
I'm terrible with names. I know colors and I know their catchphrase.
You can just call him Silver if you want. We'll know who you mean.
Yeah, but I just thought that was such a great little touch you got, was the, oh shit, we could kill them, but we gotta fight the monster. And then Silver's just like over there fighting, not caring, and he almost blows them up, and he's like, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was really well done. Also, it didn't look bad. Like, usually with these shows, you can tell it's spliced image. You see the fraying, you see disconnect or ill-timed moves, but this was really well done.
There's very little plot happening in this episode because most of the attention is just on the execution of the plan and the choreography of the fights.
And it's glorious.
But it's so entertaining. You don't need all that other stuff.
Because, they get into the building. Yodana is holding Sayo hostage. So Juru summons the Careful Arrow, and Yodana's like, "Oh, you gonna shoot the seed with that? You gonna risk me hurting your teammate?" Juru shoots it away from the seed because he sent a message to King Oladin to transfer his consciousness from that gem into the Careful Arrow.
I keep forgetting that was made from a stone.
Right. So when he fired it, he
Wasn't it made from
It was
the
made from
princess's
the
tears?
the blue diamonds that she cries.
So technically, it still counts.
And since the king can travel back and forth between Altamont whenever he wants, Juru firing the arrow was him firing it into another dimension.
Firing the king.
So over in Altamont, Garza is like, oh, his cure mental is fading. It's like gone now. I win. And then arrow from another dimension just flies in and shoots him, giving the opening the king needs to return to his actual stone and get the hell out of there.
Like this was one of those things where it was perfectly executed with the suit acting and all that to be like had to have that loss of hope. I don't know what to do. When in reality, it was, yeah, no, I got a plan. Watch this, haha.
And it was even better because we kind of skipped over it. But after they first get into the building, all of a sudden, all these super bachats show up.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
they're like,
forgot
I
about
can't
that.
move. What am I going to do? Oh no. And then Yellow's just like, they're literally right below us. Let's shoot out the floor. And they just shoot all the way around them and fall through the floor.
I forgot about that.
And apparently, the official name for them isn't zombie bachats like Sayo and Senna called them. They're hyper bachats.
Yeah.
Whatever, they're still going to die in 5 minutes.
Right.
So I can totally understand why we got the flashback of Juru's plan so that we could get the surprise factor when, the king mech the giant head burst in the ground to pick up the seed.
Right, and because then they can have the explanation of wait, what the hell just happened?
What I
and
don't
then have all the pieces connect.
I don't think we needed a second flashback explaining that Garza chased after him.
No, but I will give them credit for at least having the touch to put Garuza on the back of the mech when the mech first took off, when during the first flashback.
I mean, every villain's got a monologue.
Because, they all jump into their mechs, and the monsters are there, and Garuza is there in his dinosaur, and we get another flashback explaining how he followed them back. It's like, I don't think that was necessary here.
I get why they did that, though.
Yeah.
Because to the casual watcher, or to kids, they have enough knowledge to know that only those two can go back and forth, Hakobu and the king. So if Olodin and Hakubu bounced, Garuza stuck there. So it's the let's explain it to the kids while the older would catch it. And yes, I do like the fact that going back and watching it the second time, you can see Garuza on the leg of the mech the first time it takes off. Because I'm like, I made sure to watch that. It's like that was a great attention to detail.
And yeah, the next 6 minutes of the episode is the most confusing game of rock paper scissors. I don't think I understand the rules here.
Rock paper scissors lizard Spock.
Well, I mean, Tomatona they do a decent job of explaining why it's rock paper scissors.
So I get the whole counter with our strengths method. But it's like, all right, go in with paper, and then Sayo goes in with her giant fan blades.
It's paper.
It's I'm sorry.
To be fair, it's explained in the pun that she makes.
Oh, there was a pun there. So this is just a translation issue that's confusing me.
Yeah, she literally makes Helico makes a pun, going forth with a bang or something like that. It's but she uses the abbreviated word for paper, which also happens to mean
Okay. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I totally didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm also trying to figure out why the one that doesn't have swords was the sword.
You see, there's a lot that I don't understand about this
Zabyun
game.
uses guns. Why Zabyun used a cutting attack? I can understand a little bit,
And then they're
but it
like,
makes more sense
I think
to
they.
use the damn jet sword
And I think
for
they
the
said,
actual
all right,
Hikawa.
go in with Rock now, and then Takamichi jumps in with his drill arm.
I mean, you use it on rocks.
That
Yeah.
that is the opposite of the scenario.
I understand, but actually,
The only
no. Hold on. I have the easiest explanation for that, and you're gonna feel like an idiot.
It's made of diamond.
Takamichi at that point is a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a stone.
And he is a crystal. He's a stone at that point, so he is literally rock.
Only thing I can think of is it makes sense to children. It's not going to make sense to us.
I keep forgetting that him becoming the stone is a thing.
Oh, no, like, I remembered that part. I just wasn't thinking about it when I was trying to figure out the whole rock, paper, scissors aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't get why one of the monster laughs and the other two just make a noise.
Because one of them has a face.
But it's a mask.
Oh,
but it has a face.
Still, why is he laughing? He should be like screaming or something.
I don't know.
Well, to be fair, he truly laughs once he picks up the seed rock thing.
Yeah, the monsters in this were just very random.
I will point out.
What's the strongest monsters we still have that we haven't destroyed yet? Okay, you three. That's all we got.
I will admit I did enjoy seeing the fact that when the tank fired, I believe it was during that last one at least, there was a little dude in the tank.
Oh, there was a pilot?
in the hatch. Yeah, in the hatch.
That's nice.
It was a little Betchet figure. I'm like, that's hilarious.
And I appreciated the joke Juru made when they were backed in the corner, and Cena's like, "Oh man, can we win?" Juru goes, "We sure can, with Tametono's plan." Tametono's just like, "Okay, but yes, for real, I have a plan."
I mean, to be fair, that is his role.
And then you have the whole game of keep away.
Yeah, where like Garza just has his train bite into the king.
See,
and they're passing the seed back and forth.
I realize they have an excuse for why it didn't happen, but I'm mad the train didn't get hijacked again.
Yeah, I was hoping to see Jokey get taken again.
There was no pirate. Damn it.
Next week.
And not the way I would have expected.
Yeah. So, when it's just Garza left, all they have to do is get the seed from him and blow it up. But it's too strong, even for grateful prominence. So, Juru comes up with a new plan. And he has a psychic link with the king, so he doesn't even need to fully explain it. The king already knows what he's thinking.
I like that they
Which was hilarious, because the king was like, "I'm in your mind, I already know."
Which, yes.
You don't need to explain it.
In the moment, that took more time to say than Juru explaining the plan, but it saves time in the future.
Yes, it does, because they can literally just do things.
You can just have Juru say...
It's funny that he's like, you don't need to explain, I got it.
You can just have Juru say, Osama, and Olodin will be like, on it.
Yep.
So the plan is simple. Kirame stones can enlarge their own size. Thus, the careful arrow would be able to do the same if it had a consciousness. So all the king has to do is temporarily transfer his consciousness into the careful arrow and enlarge its size. And then all 5 mechs come together to fire it as one, akin to how the 5 rangers would get together to fire it on the ground.
And what a glorious moment it was.
Wait, 5 or 4 mechs? I don't remember.
4 mechs. 4 mechs.
4 mechs.
Yeah, because the bad guys had 5. No.
No, bad guys.
Yeah.
It was 4-on-4.
It was 4-on-4.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways, math is hard.
we get a really cool mech finisher.
And a unique one at that.
And it looked beautiful.
Like that wasn't the way I expected it to work when it first happened, and attached to the back of the Grateful Phoenix. Because when it happened, my brain went, "Why? It already can fly." And then it did this. I'm like, "Yeah, that makes more sense. This is great."
And I love that Takamichi is just basically like a table for it to
The
rest
face,
on.
yeah. He's just... But yeah, like, this is the things that I enjoy about the show. Is like, its ability to branch out and do something different and unique. Even with stuff that's very, very similar to what we already know and has been established as tropes within this series. Seeing something that's very much a trope done in a different way is fantastic.
This show is groundbreaking in the way it executes certain plot points.
Right, and like I said, like, and certain tropes too. Because like this is the standard defeat the monster before it gets big trope. That's what this is, and to use this as a no, monster's already huge. We'll do it now. It's the same thing done in a different way, and it's executed extremely well.
And so Garza retreats, and King Odin has a kind of like silent message to him, like, you failed because you underestimated the team. Sayo risked her life to warn the others about the situation. Juru was able to come up with a plan despite the odds. Everyone fought their hardest in a battle they would have otherwise lost.
Tomitono, with calm analysis, figured out a way to defeat the monsters.
Like
you
and pushing them so close to pushing them into a corner only made them grow closer together and stronger. Even if chipped, they'll shine when polished.
Like, and again, this is very much the standard trope. But because of how it's executed, the way the king tells it, it comes off very genuine to the show rather than it just being they won because of the power of friendship. This is very much they won because of the power of friendship.
Friendship is magic.
Because all of them working together, even while individually, they all worked together as a whole. And it's like, yeah, no wonder you lost, you douche noodle.
And Juru shows that, like, he actually is worthy of being read here more than any other time, when it was his quick thinking that actually saved the day.
Right. And it's fantastic. It's like
King Odin attributes two of Juru's, like, hey, Juru had 2 great ideas, like the initial plan and then like the careful arrow or actually no, he attributes the 2 careful
arrow moment.
Calling the king the first time and enlarging the arrow. That is only half of Juru's contribution this episode, though, because like Juru came up with the initial plan for the raid, and Juru was the one that's like, all right, now we defer to Tomitono for this section.
Right. It's like these are the points where he really shines as being a red. Like, and with a lot of the series, you usually have that one defining moment where you can sit there and go, yeah, no, this is why he's red. Usually, again, it's defaulted on the de facto leader. It's like, in this particular case, this was the true episode where you fully had the, yeah, no, this is why he's red. We've had moments that have led up to this type of thing, but nothing as defining as this for Juru.
And also, it wasn't your typical Red becoming the leader episode. It wasn't focused solely on him. This episode was about everybody, but yet you still saw him rise up to the occasion and become the leader. And you just accepted in this episode. You're like, yeah, he's not that little goofy kid anymore. He is the leader of this team.
In their most desperate moment, he was there for them.
And knew what the team needed. Because one of the key important things that he did is he deferred to Tomitono's knowledge, which is something a leader should do.
And he trusted his team.
Like, I know Pixie hasn't seen anything of Gokaiger, but Marvelous does this a lot.
Oh yeah, he knows his team's strengths and weaknesses, and when they set out to do something, he stands back and watches.
Like, most notable when they're coming up with a plan to invade the Zangiak ship.
The poker episode?
The poker episode.
Yeah.
And everybody's sitting there, everybody's going, this is a terrible idea, and he goes, I'm down.
Just let her do her thing.
You want to do it, just follow her lead. Y'all be good.
And he just calmly sits on the ship playing poker with the rest of the team, knowing that, like, yeah, she'll be fine. She knows what she's doing.
Like, it's that level of faith and knowledge of your team's strengths and weaknesses, which is very important in a leader. Which Juru has shown periodically over, like, his understanding of, like, what's important to the different members.
What makes every member sparkle.
Right. And he's shown that throughout, is like, and this, I feel, is just the culmination of all of that.
Yeah, because up until this moment, you still felt that he wasn't really the leader. You still felt that tension between the team and him. Even though they eased it after Yellow's episode, but at the same time, you still felt he wasn't full on the leader.
I wouldn't really call it tension, but I would say that Juru definitely felt like he was in over his head at times.
I will absolutely agree with that. Like, yeah, they did a good job of doing the whole, Yellow deferring to Red, but he was still clear on his, no, I should be the leader. I'll follow you because that's what's been decided, but I should be the leader.
Yeah.
I feel this fully turns out 180, and it feels genuine, even if it did take 33 episodes to happen. Because this is that first moment where, like, the first half of the episode, we get the whole, it feels like Red's in over his head. Because, to be fair, up until that point, up until the reveal, he was in over his head for all we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And then the beautiful execution of his plan is like, oh yeah, no, this dude's awesome. He knows what he's doing. Like, he feels like somebody, if you were on that team, you could trust him, indiscriminately.
It's not so much that. It's where I think what really helps is the show shows the issues with the leader and the problems he has, where he has failed plans. He is the goofball. He's done stuff wrong, or he's immature. He doesn't know as much as the rest of the team. Whereas, like, with Power Rangers, it's constant. This is the leader. They know everything. We're following them. I think that's what sets this show so apart, is that you get to see all of this in it.
Sentai?
Hey, Rai.
What's up?
That description she gave of Juru, who does that remind you of in Sentai?
Sorry, could you repeat your description? Sorry,
Just
Vashi.
said
What?
he's a goofball. He doesn't know what he's doing, and his team
Oh,
doesn't
lucky.
support him for the most part.
One other. Go back a little bit further. The last time we had a no, screw you, I'm the leader. Go Sager. It's literally the description of Alita. That goofball, carefree, in over his head, knows much less than the rest of his team. Yeah, it's Alita.
The thing about Alita, though, is that he wasn't actually the leader. They didn't have a leader. But in a pinch, he would pull through for them.
Right. Because they had the whole story about that. It's like, but like this is like we've had that same character progressing through here. It's like, and we see it going from I'm only the leader because I got stuck here to I am a bona fide leader.
So has Drago posted anything else in the chat?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure we weren't missing messages. All right.
No, I'm watching it.
I've been keeping an eye on it too. And I have a question.
Yes.
Are we not going to talk about what Garuza was doing for those 4 days?
Oh, you mean festering in his own anger?
Pouting. He was pouting.
He was in a pity party.
But
his despair.
He wasn't just pouting to, because he didn't know how to handle his emotions like a child. He was, intentionally, letting himself stew in his anger to build up his power.
No, I the explanation. He was pouting. I'm okay with calling it pouting because he was pouting.
Reaching the dark side.
Garuza literally became an edgelord for power. We get it.
Can we talk for a moment about how Yodana was just like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
She she knows when the tables have turned.
I just love the fact that halfway through, just as it was getting good, she's just like, you can have her. I'm done. I'm bored. Bye.
So you haven't seen a lot of Sentai? That is a trope. Where one particular villain in each series will literally, no fucking, I'm done here. I've done enough. Have fun.
They are usually generals because, unlike the monster of the week, they value their lives and know they can be more useful in the long run. So they don't stick around for a fight that could be a potential loss. They don't stick around long enough to find out if they would lose. That way they can claim that they didn't lose.
They're that much of a badass that they don't give a damn. I.e., Mr. Iceman.
It's usually the general like Garuza that will go in and actually be pushed back in the fight of okay, you got some strength to you, I'll concede this time.
To put it into your knowledge, more or less that's Goldar.
I was just thinking that. I just wasn't going to say it. I'm like, it's the Goldar.
Yeah, Goldar, that's literally Goldar's role in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He's the villain.
To antagonize.
Yeah, he's the general that directly antagonizes the heroes. There are different general tropes. There's that one. There's the one that handles the monsters, and then there's usually the female general.
Yeah, where was Tarantula this episode?
Probably throwing a temper tantrum.
No Tarantula.
This plane didn't really use Tarantula.
I know.
The length of Tarantula's involvement in this plan was gather the energy and release them.
And send the monsters when I give the order.
That was the entire necessity of Tarantula for this plan.
I know, but usually you see that and you see Tarantula fussing or complaining about them wasting his monsters.
Oh, that reminds me.
But we had nothing of Tarantula this episode.
I discovered recently Garuza's voice actor beat Jay Stagg.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
And while I was looking that up, you know what else I discovered? Gajuleus from Real Soldier. Doggy Kruger.
I didn't even place that one.
Me either. But enough about references Pixie doesn't get.
See, now all we need
It's okay.
is...
I just take a tea break. Y'all can talk about things I have no clue about.
You know what we need now then, right?
What's up?
We need Garuza to directly make a reference to Beat, which would be very simple. Wait till somebody's talking and stand in front of them. The same way that we had
right. Like Tarantula is like, oh, like screaming like in anger about the Kiramagers, and then Garuza just cuts him off like, send the monsters.
Get out of my way.
So if I understand correctly, next week's episode is that Yellow and Blue are gonna bro bond over a game of pool and being hot.
Apparently.
Yes, I mean that pretty much sums up all of the descriptions, except for the fact that apparently Garuza is going to become a pirate.
Literally, don't even see a monster of the week.
No.
But yet we see Garuza take King Express.
And I think you see a shot of Yodana, but you literally, I have no idea.
Apparently, this is something to do with Yodana. This is Yodana's plan.
Like
the way it's the way it is described.
Literally have no idea what the plot of the episode is, other than Shigeru and Tametono play pool while looking hot.
Like as soon as it happened, is like, and this is gonna show my age. Is as soon as it happened, and he's like, we're two handsome men. All I can think of was Steve Martin. We are two wild and sexy guys. Shut up, that was an awesome SNL skit. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't watch SNL, okay?
Meow. Never saw that one.
Like I said, I've
only seen the David Pumpkins meme.
The old man. The old weeb.
But, like, I'm... This is that point of, like I said, like, and I know you've said it too, right? It's like where the pacing of this show seems really, really strange at times. Because it's so...
But it works.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. It's like, I think what makes it work is, like, the really serious moments, as frequent as they are, they're not overly frequent. Like, they don't outweigh the day-to-day situations.
Unlike Kamen Rider Saber, where they treat every situation like the end of the world. Which, to be fair, they very well could be.
But damn.
But they always keep tension levels high. Like, it's easy to burn out with that kind of formula.
And also, you have, like, no context as to where this fits in their lives, because to me, it seems like Saber's just happening on its own timeline. Like, we know at the beginning of Saber, we know he's an author, he's working in this bookshop, and then it's like, that just got tossed out the window,
right.
The bookshop's just the clubhouse.
That was a comment I made a couple weeks ago, where it's like, they have no downtime. They don't have time to just, like... go eat a donut.
We don't see him interact with nobody. At least with Kiramager, we see Red's in school, Pink's a doctor, Blue's acting. Like, we see bits of their lives.
Just 2 weeks ago, we had an episode that's like half the premise came from the fact that like most of the team is off doing their day jobs, but hey, these two are available.
Right, like hell, last week Pink went on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see a date. Oh my god,
And
a
like,
normal date.
despite like the situation of trying to figure out the riddle, the rest of the team like put that aside to ask her, "So how'd your date go?
Right.
Tell
Like,
me all the
I love
details."
that part of the episode.
the
And the
closest we
fact
got.
that you've seen a couple of them like really concerned that she was liking this guy.
Now, I
Pretty
haven't seen the
sure
last.
Tommy Tone has a thing for Sayo.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've not seen the last 2 episodes of Saber. I need to watch those before tomorrow. But the most downtime that I've seen them have, or even explained, was the fact that he had finished a book and had writer's block for another one. To me, that was the extent of their downtime.
Again, at least in Zio, they sat down and ate food together.
Hell, he went to school for
Yeah, for the first half
no.
of the show, he went to school and graduated by cheating on his final exam.
Yeah, that's what happens when you dream the
I'm
future.
not gonna let that one go.
No. And then
So
reset it.
can-
And then not only did he do that, but then he has to also go back through school because he reset time.
Yeah, Demon King
He
of Time
he
cheated on his final exam.
and then ungraduated himself. Fucking idiot. If ever there was a point in my life that I did not want to live again, high school's one of them.
Oh, school was terrible. I hate the
Yeah,
public
God.
education system.
So bad. But so it was around this time last year that I started watching Ryu Soldier, and you got me sucked into all this Sentai crap. So we're getting
if I
awfully
recall
close to-
correctly, you watched it out of curiosity and went, "I love the dinosaurs."
Yeah.
I watched it out of curiosity and then saw the Christmas episode preview.
Yeah.
Reindeer
watched-
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
She was waiting for 01.
Reindeer Tiramigo.
We didn't have the episode by that point, and she's like, "I'm bored. Let's watch this." And then the preview was the dumbest plan in Real Soldier.
It was
And
the greatest
it
episode.
worked.
Because everybody involved in that was retarded.
So
Pardon my
with that
language.
in mind,
They were dumb as hell.
we are getting awfully close to Christmas. What do we think we're going to get out of Kiramager for Christmas?
King Olin is gonna be Santa.
I want to see
Probably.
a Santa sleigh that's a Kirame stone.
Oh
I
god,
want
I
Santa
could
to
see
be
that.
a Kiramager. He can be Kiramager Gold.
No, Murio is the non-existent
Murio's
Kirame
Kirame
Gold.
Murio's
I still
Gold.
love that. What about Kirame Gold? Who?
What?
What? I
What are
don't
you
want that.
talking about?
But it's that type of stuff that makes this show fantastic. Despite the fact that a good chunk of the show is let's just poke fun at everything we can poke fun at. Over, the 50 years of Sentai history.
But they do it so well.
They do it, it's executed extremely well, and then when they have the episodes like shit just got real, like these last 2 episodes, they're still executed with that same precision and gloriousness that makes this show fantastic. And you can sit there and go, yeah.
And then the
I'm
next
really
minute
in-
you're laughing your ass off at somebody.
Usually Drew.
Or Silver. Wonder!
Did you also notice that during the final pose with that, he's still on the ground on that one too?
Yep.
Oh, I
Little
didn't.
Mr. Tommy Tono is still lounged
Mm-hmm.
up on the ground because apparently he really wants to be drawn like a French girl. Tell me that's not the pose he makes. During the roll calls, that's the pose he makes.
I want to see Santa appear. And I want King Olin to know him.
It wouldn't be the first time Santa's shown up.
Yeah, no, Santa canonically exists in Sentai and Rider. He shows up in an episode of Go Onger and gives the team a gift that helps them solve the like civilian issue that's going on. And he shows up in Kamen Rider Wizard and gives him a one-time spell to repair all the gifts that were destroyed by the monster.
The gif of him showing up is the greatest gif in Wizard.
Those gifts, in part, by the way, were for an orphanage, so it was like a really good thing.
Right, but the gifs of Santa showing up in that one in Wizard are some of the best gifs in Wizard.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
some people do think Santa's an alien, so he could have been with Olodin at some point.
Would explain how he gets in your house at night.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what they're going to do for the Christmas episode. They have so much potential with this show.
I can't wait to see the Kiramagers explain Christmas to the Stones.
Yes. Especially Yellowstone.
It's like, I can only imagine like the kind of gifts that the Stones will imagine getting.
That'll be interesting.
Maybe some nice polish.
And of course, it doesn't want to pop up in my gifts anymore.
Alright, so thanks for joining us tonight, everybody, and we'll see you next Tuesday for more Kiramager.
Oh, it's been a while. You gotta cue me. Good night, everybody.
Thank you all for listening. We'll be back tomorrow for Kamen Rider Saber. Hopefully that show's picked up since the last time I watched it.
It hasn't.
So, as much as I enjoy doing the podcast with Zero, this show's starting to drag on me. But we will be back. No, Naruto's the end of Kiramager, or Real Soldier, so...
Yeah, it's the same ending.
It's the same ending.
And if you think that statement doesn't make any sense, go watch the one that you haven't seen.
And then we'll be back next week with more Machine Sentai Kiramager, and it's glorious. Don't forget to polish your stones.
Phrasing.
I phrased that as best I can.
No, you didn't.
If you inferred anything other than polishing your stones the way that the Kiramagers say it, you're a problem on the internet.
How about this? Keep sparkling.
Also, you're my friend.